Hello, everyone. This is your host, Wade Fransson, created in the image of God. This is your sneak peek for this coming Tuesday's show, where we will be meeting with Chadwick Hagan, who is here in this makeshift studio with me today. Chad, welcome.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, Wade.
Well, I couldn't be more pleased about what we're going to talk about on this week's show. And for the audience, I discovered Chad for myself by reading an article that he had written and published on Cultural Marxism and the Southern Baptist Church. And this intrigued me because of my own background and some of the things we've talked about on the show in the past. And when I met with Chad and discussed his background and why he wrote this article and what's going on, I knew we had to bring him onto the show. So Chad, in this sneak peek, we've only got, a couple of minutes. What can the audience expect to hear from you on the intersection of cultural Marxism and the Southern Baptist Church?
Yeah, in short, I grew up in the South. I'm from the South, born and raised in Atlanta, and I grew up Methodist, and I'm Episcopal now. The Southern Baptist Convention was always the most conservative congregation in the U.S., and especially within the Baptist Church. And over the last few years, through studies and through meeting a lot of other people who are involved in the SBC, the Southern Baptist Convention, I've discovered, obviously, at the work and the behest of many countless others, that wokery and this sort of kind of woke agenda are slowly creeping into the SBC. I think it's about as obvious as you can get with how successful Marxism, cultural Marxism has been in America. The fact that they're even talking about kind of loosening some of these rules and regulations within the SBC. So we're going to really dive deep and discuss that.
Well, and you brought up that there's even an impact here of the old liberation theology, which was really largely developed in the Catholic Church and has, been extant, especially in South America, that is also a component of some of the crises we're facing here in America with immigration and the border.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's understandable for churches to want to help impoverished migrants and people who are stuck in humanitarian crises, but it's a whole nother situation when these churches actually help mobilize the people so they can come into America illegally. And that's what's going on in South America and Central America. And without a doubt, it's completely attributed to liberation theory, which to your point was a communist school of thought that emerged in the 60s in Latin America, and it's still around.
Well, as the audience knows, the tagline of Creating the Image of God is the role of religion in society. What I'm hearing from you is that society is playing a role in religion that perhaps it should never have been playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially here in the Western world, especially in America, Christian religion is a foundation. It's a cornerstone of our society, of our civilization. And the fact that society is now, these new kind of fads within society are starting to chip away at those foundations is just a huge reason to be concerned. And we've got to mobilize and fight back against it as best we can.
Well, there you have it. Certainly enough to whet your appetite for episode 89 of Created in the Image of God. After all these months and even more than a year, we're really digging into now the crux of what this show is about, the interplay between society and religion and what we should be doing about it. You don't want to miss this episode, the first of what I hope will be many appearances of Chad Hagan, 8 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday night. Don't miss it. We look forward to seeing you there.